Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Rao. Joining me for this live is Devashish Sen, Bharat Ramraj, and soon Shomik Chakrabarti from Raipur outside of the stadium will also join us. Second ODI, time for India to seal the series. Will they be able to do it or not is something we have to wait and watch. But when it comes to tonight, the fans will be awaiting another Rocco show. Debashish, this ODI series, in fact, at this point, any ODI series that India plays, be it a bilateral, be it a World Cup, it's always going to be about Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Since their announcement from the Test squad, we all have been waiting for another glimpse at watching Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And the last match was a complete Pesa Vasool match. The cherry on top was, of course, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli's 136-run partnership. Are you awaiting another similar show tonight as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about these two superstars of Indian cricket. Means be it Rachi, be it Raipur, it has been the same. And we have seen visuals of the people lining for tickets from 4 5 days. So you can expect a full house, as has been reported by Shomik Da. So it won't be any different. Hopefully, India goes on to win the toss this time round, and we see another crack jack of an innings from both the superstars, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Gargi.
Devashish, you bring up a very, very important point there, which is not Virat Kohli here, which is not Rohit Sharma, it is the toss. Because India at this point are, it is, I would have said gravity defying, but it is probability defying odds of India losing the toss one game after the other, be it tests, be it ODIs, be it T20s. It's almost like, all toss gods are against Indian captains at this point. Bharat, even KL Rahul could not change the curse.
Yeah, maybe do something mantra or black magic, something on those lines like abra, cabra, dabra, something on those lines. Just do some mantra and try to ensure that India will win the toss. I think that is the only way. That's the only thing I can say, because if you look at probability, if you go back to your mathematics days, it will say that finally it will be 50-50 in terms of winning the toss, or in these things, you will the probability will say it is mostly it will be 50-50, but that's not the way that's going when it comes to the Indian team. They're basically losing toss after toss after toss. So I think the only step that is left is to do some black magic, bring some guy who's very good at it. The Indian management can try it. I guess.
Indian management can try something just like I tried wearing my glasses, but they're not clean enough to be worn right now. But Debashish, going back to you now, if we look at the last match as well, we will get Shomik soon in the stream and we will talk about what the conditions are like at Raipur, what the build-up is like. But before that, Debashish, if you look back on the last game, you realize that South Africa took the game very, very close. Yes, their top order faltered somewhat when it comes to the batting, but at the same time, we were talking about the fact that Indian bowling lineup is a little bit thin compared to South Africa's. And if you really, if you want to pinpoint, it was Virat Kohli's game. It was Virat Kohli's innings that won you the game.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, Gargi, you need to be by the side of the bowlers. With at the amount of dew that was evident in Ranchi, you should have, and in that, despite the first over by Harshit Rana was just simply brilliant. And simply brilliant because those two wickets at the start just picked back the South Africans a bit. And when you have some South Africa reeling at 228 for 7, that Kuldeep Yadav over very good, got both those wickets, the set batters, and then you let South Africa to score past to 300. That was totally, I would say, unacceptable. Means in a when you had the opposition in a stranglehold, means 228 for 7. Let's see if there is an improvement. But again, once again, dew will be a major factor at this point, at this time of the year. So be it Ranchi, be it Raipur, I am expecting the dew to be in Raipur as well. But unlike what it was in 2023 when New Zealand was bundled out for 100 paltry score of 138 or 108, I don't exactly remember the score. It was a very low scoring affair with New Zealand getting bowled out. So I am expecting at least a better batting conditions, because that is what the people the fans pay their money for to watch some entertainment. They pay to watch a Rocco innings. So that is what the crowd will be expecting. Gargi.
Shomik has joined us, but I don't think his internet is stable enough for us to have a conversation with him. But I'll still ask. Shomik, can you hear me? Is my voice breaking up, or are you able to hear me at this point? What's going on? Yeah, do think there's a lot of trouble there, and we keep losing Shomik. Shomik, can you hear me? No. But Bharat, wow, I just happened to glance over this comment that says, Nashili is saying, big breaking, a credible source has informed that they're not able to convince Virat. He's about to announce retirement here on Vizag and has already informed BCCI everything else is hogwash. We can tell you that there's nothing as such going on. In fact, Virat Kohli will play Vijay Hazare Trophy. He's made his availability clear to DDCA, which is Delhi Cricket Association, and will be available for 3 games. So that's where it is. He's not announcing his retirement tonight or in Vizag. But Bharat, coming back to apart from all the spotlight that there is on Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, if you look back on, and Devashish is really right, you have to give credit where it's due. Arshdeep Singh and Harshit Rana were pretty good with the new ball.
Yeah, for starters, I think Virat Kohli is going to retire at 12:54 p.m. today. That is my credible source. I'm just joking. Anyway, leaving aside that, yeah, it's just 1 minute away. Leaving aside that, see, Harshit Rana has always been a good prospect. There's no doubt about that. See, his good pace, hits the deck hard, is quite tall, so gets a little bit of bounce, gets a little bit of sea movement as well. That's what I think really helped him. He gets a little bit of late movement. I'm not saying he's much of a swing bowler, but he does nip it around a little bit with a new ball. So bowling with a new ball really helps. And at least in the last couple of games that is played for India A, it seems like he's not offering much width. That is something that has gone against him time and again. He bowls two good deliveries and offers width and then gets smashed for a boundary. So I think he has worked on it in terms of his lines. And then Arshdeep Singh's, see, in the limited overs cricket, it's always good to have a left armer, even more so in limited overs cricket than in test cricket. In test cricket, if there's a good left arm pacer, then it's absolutely fine. But it's not a requirement. But in limited overs cricket, it's always great to have that angle. And I think that left arm angle at least worked for Arshdeep Singh a couple of times in that first T20I. And with the new ball, obviously swings it a bit. So yes, so it's good to see the youngsters or the inexperienced pacers doing well. I would just have to add one thing that they played in conditions where it was completely tailor-made for batters, the Indian bowlers. So when the dew came into effect, then obviously the Indian bowlers also got smashed around. So one has to give a little bit of leeway to these inexperienced pacers or inexperienced bowlers, because in those conditions, even without dew, it looked like a motorway, but with dew around, it looked like an IndyCar racing motorway to me, where the ball was not doing anything and it was too easy for the batsmen. So yeah, unfair on the bowlers, but one has to give leeway when people keep criticizing Indian bowlers. They have to give a bit of leeway in these circumstances.
All right, Debashish, a lot of people are still talking about Rishabh Pant's exclusion from the team. But at this point, KL Rahul being your captain, he's taking the gloves. How do you accommodate both Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul in the playing 11?
It's not possible, Gargi, with KL Rahul donning the gloves. Means as simple as that. When you have someone like a Ruturaj Gaikwad getting in at number 4, means it would be unfair on Ruturaj Gaikwad's part as well. Means you try him at number 4, all of a sudden you just to get in a Rishabh Pant, you drop him. It won't be fair as well. So I would say that, and in all probability, the playing 11 might be unchanged for tonight's game. So I think Ruturaj Gaikwad at number 4 and obviously Tilak Verma at number 5. Yes, there is a debate whether Tilak Verma should make way for Rishabh Pant. Only then you can get in a Rishabh Pant, but definitely not at the expense of Ruturaj Gaikwad, because After one innings, you cannot. And remember, he was out after a brilliant piece of fielding from Diwal Bravis. In no way Ruturaj Gaikwad played a wrong shot. I think the shot was on perfect, but it was that brilliant catch by in one day cricket. You try and play those slash shots. So I think Ruturaj Gaikwad deserves another opportunity. And I would just go one step further in saying that given all three matches in the South Africa series, that is where you need consistency, and that is where this talks about the selection meeting. Consistency in selection meeting is all about. You just cannot chop and change, or just cannot change the batting order for an individual after one game. So I think if Rituraj Gaikwad is there in the playing 11, he should be given a longer rope, perhaps this entire South Africa series. You can try someone else, no problem in trying someone else in the New Zealand series that will be coming up next month. But as far as this series, I think there needs to be some sort of consistency. Yes, until and unless Ruturaj plays a very poor shot and gets out, and then series 1-all, and everything to play for, then you might try something else for the third match in Vizag. But as far as this match, I definitely feel Ruturaj Gaikwad deserves a place in that number 4 slot.
But since we're on the topic, Ruturaj Gaikwad, are you also seeing him play every single match in the series tonight and the next match as well? Because it really doesn't make sense to drop him after one bad game.
Hopefully, he will get a chance in all three matches. Logically, he will get because you can't drop a player after just one match. A fringe player, if you give him one chance, then you have to give him a couple more chances. And he's a very good player in 50-over cricket. It's something I followed even right since 2018 when he scored a lot of runs for Maharashtra. I remember the way he played against Himachal Pradesh in a list A game. He scored 114 of 114 balls. From that time, one could see he's perfect fit for 50-over cricket. And that is why his list A average also is 57. Recent in the A series against South Africa, he scored average 105. So he's in very good form as well. The only problem for him is he's very much a top order player. Takes a little bit of time and then goes for his lofted strokes, and that is how he bats. But unfortunately, India's white ball riches are such that if Shubman Gill gets injured, there is always Yashasvi Jaiswal or someone else waiting in the wings, and Ruturaj Gaikwad has to play slightly down the order. But that is how it goes. So that is how sometimes professional sport goes, and he has to somehow adjust and bat well at number 5. Because as you know, with the kind of white ball riches that India have, if he fails in a couple more games, then he could again find himself in the wilderness. Yes, wishing him the best. But if you look at the three formats that he plays, if you just rank it 1, 2, 3 in terms of Ruturaj Gaikwad's preferences, I think one definitely would be in 50-over cricket. So if he's going to do really well in international cricket, then I think this will be at the top. So hopefully, from his perspective, we'll get a couple more games and score a lot of runs.
Absolutely. In fact, into 2024, I was having this chat with Mone Mokal, who was back then not the bowling coach of India. He was the bowling coach of LSG, and I had gone to do an interview. And, I was asking this question about mental health and how do you prepare younger players coming into the setup? And I asked him, because it's so much pressure, you are replaceable at any point in time. And he said, yes, that's the answer, that every single player in the team is replaceable, and you just have to be that good. And that's the pressure of international cricket, especially when it comes to India. So Bharat brings up a very, very valid point there, that if you're not up to par, then there's always someone waiting in the wings to take your place. But Devashish, going back to Raipur, looking at the pitch, what are you making of it? Do you think it's going to be a high scoring affair, considering the boundaries of the ground are also pretty large?
Yeah, I think that looks to be a pretty good batting surface. And that is normally the case in white ball cricket, in ODIs in India. Yes, there has been rare instances where the bowlers get a bit more favor, but overall, if you ask me, it has always been a batting phase. So, and as I speak, South Africa has won the toss. So 28th time, Indian captain has lost a toss now. So South Africa has won the toss and has elected to bowl first.
Wow, I can't believe this, Devashish. I really cannot believe this because something has to give, right? Something has to give. It can't be that this is, I think, the longest. Not that I've been covering cricket very, very long. I've only been doing this for 3, 4 years, but wow, this is some record that India is putting right now. And someone needs to do something, take responsibility, and lift the curse of losing all these tosses that Indian captains have there. Honestly, it seems like it's a curse now. But anyway, what matters is you go out there and win the match.
Can I
That's
just
all.
add something? Can I just add something? Somewhere in the 95 test, I hope my memory is correct. Somewhere in the 95 test match between Pakistan and South Africa, Zimbabwe, I guess, or was it Pakistan and South Africa? I'm not mistaken. So Salim Malik tossed the coin and I think he said eagle instead of head or tail. He said eagle, and then that is maybe that's a way for him to trick it, and then he basically said it's come out right, and I have won the toss or on those lines. Maybe India can try something on those lines and say something else other than head, and then say we have won the toss.
That's a good strategy. I don't know how much trouble that would get the Indian captain in, but that it's a strategy you can try. Devashish, what did you say? How many times has India lost it now?
20th time, 2-0. 20
20
times consecutively they have now lost the toss
in ODIs or
in
overall?
ODI, in ODIs.
Wow, that is unbelievable actually. Because I was in Delhi. See, the Indian team came to my hometown and won the toss. So I don't know about you guys, but maybe I need to be there. but but also counterpoint to that is I was there for all 5 matches in England as well, and they lost every single toss there. So really, I have no defense here. Okay, freaking awesome here is saying. Sorry, Bharat, I forgot to ask you. What do you make of the pitch right now? Do you think how much do you think dew will come into play? What are your thoughts?
I'm not very sure about this ground in Dew because not many matches have been played, international matches. But what I saw when they played it, and I guess it was an ODI between India and New Zealand a couple of years ago. I saw some cracks there, and I guess New Zealand got bowled out for 108 or on those lines. And in another game, the international game, again, there is not a high scoring game, but this pitch, it seems like there are less cracks. What happens in venues like Raipur is, yes, now I guess it's a little more colder, but at times places like Raipur, you get a little more heat, and that is why I think the pitches get cracked up a little more. But this is not the summer season, so I don't think it will crack up. So expect both teams to get a lot of runs. Although, as I noted, at times I've seen the track in Raipur having some cracks, which tends to help both the pacers and the spinners, and that's what happened in the first match, international match that was played at this ground between India and New Zealand.
Okay, we have the team here. So let's take a look at what the Indian team is looking like. Of course, the openers are Rohit Sharma and Yashasvi Jaiswal. At number 3, Virat Kohli. Ruturaj Gaikwad keeps his place at number 4. Washington Sundar continues at number 5. KL Rahul, as he confirmed, number 6. Ravindra Jadeja. Then we have the bowlers Harshit Rana, Kuldeep Yadav, Arshdeep Singh, and Prasidh Krishna. So unchanged 11 there. No changes in the playing 11 as we all predicted. We weren't expecting any changes. It's too premature to change your playing 11, especially in a bilateral series after just one game, unless you're actively experimenting and trying to fix a core for yourself. But at this point, it doesn't make sense to do that much experimentation. Okay, freaking awesome here is asking a question. I've watched the highlights of an ODI and T20I held at Raipur. Initial assistance to pacers, good bounce, but batters found it difficult to time the ball at times, and the wicket is on the slower side. Devashish, how
I
many matches have you covered at the venue?
I haven't covered any single match at Raipur, but given how Nandre Barger bowled in that first ODI in Ranchi, I think he is definitely going to put some trouble to the Indian batters. I am saying opening batters, yes. And as you remember, Rohit Sharma could have gone out for one had he had Tony De Giorgi not dropped at squarely. So I think initially I think that South African pacers will get and you have a Marco Jansen as well. So Marco Jansen and Nandre Berger could create some problem, which was evident in that first ODI in Ranchi. Yes, wickets did not show, but I would say it was brilliant batting from Virat and Rohit after that initial hiccup, Rohit getting dropped. And see, it's going to be a interesting battle between bat and ball, especially as freaking awesome mentioned that initially it will be is assisting the pacers. I don't know what's Bharat's take. I would like to know about Bharat's take, but I think Nandre Barger is going to trouble the Indian batters along with Marco Jansen initially.
Just at a point to it, I guess I said it to sometimes get a couple of indentations, cracks out there. I think that is what is related to the track being on the slower side. What happens when you get a few indentations is sometimes it comes onto the bat a little quicker, sometimes it stops on the batsman. I think that's what happened in that India versus New Zealand game. Yes, and Andrew Berger, see, he's someone a quintessential South African fast bowler in the sense that how he powers through the crease. That is just God gifted. Someone up there in the heaven has gifted him with athleticism, with fast twitch muscles, and that is why he's able to power through the crease like that. We just is full of burgeoning potential and someone who can bowl fast from ball one. That is usually an indicator that he must have a lot of fast twitch muscles. And I'm pretty sure if Andrew Berger had taken up some other sport like sprinting, he would have been a good sprinter as well because he's very much an athletic fast bowler.
Oh, I was already unmuted. Okay, so I need to take a look at the South Africa 11, but from what the comment section is saying, Lungi and Giddy has made it to the playing 11. Give me 1 second to look at. Okay. We have Aidan Markram, Quinton de Kock, Temba Babuma, Tony De Zorzi, Deval Brevis, Marco Jansen, Corbin Bosch, Keshav Maharaj, Nandre Berger, Lungi and Giddy, and Otnel Bartman. Devashish, oh, he's gone off. Bharat, what do you make of the South Africa playing 11? Lungi
It's
coming
not
back,
really,
does that make a difference?
yeah, it's kind of an expected lineup, but yes, NGD has come in. He has the experience, and I think he has a very good slower ball. So, if the wicket is on the slower side, then NGD will definitely come into the picture. This one. Sorry, I just sneezed a little bit. Sorry for that. But Lungi Ngidi has a very good off cutter. That's what I've seen. Isaban, I think his arm speed doesn't really change at all. So that could be the reason why they have picked him. Because if the wicket is on the slower side, then Ngidi's slower balls definitely will come into the equation and could trouble the Indian batters. So yes, expected side. And they have, I think, dropped their other spinner, Subrayan, but not our Subayan, but Subrayan, they have dropped him. So they've gone with the Ngidi, I think, mainly for the kind of cutters, slower ones that he bowls.
Devashish, Ngidi has, a history of troubling Indian batters. Do you think his inclusion in the playing 11 makes a huge difference?
I would have gone in with a Keshav Maharaj straight away. Means Keshav Maharaj,
Keshav is in the team.
obviously, yes, Keshav Maharaj. I don't know why, but definitely with Corbin Bosch, Andre Barger, and who else, and Marco Jansen. I think that fast bowling is pretty well now. They are going in with an extra pacer in Lungi and Giddy. I don't know whether the wicket will be that assisting the pacers, but definitely it would have been a good addition to have someone like a Keshav Maharaj. Given his wealth of experience, he is much better than Subrayan, means what we witnessed in that first ODI in Ranchi. So let's wait and watch, and because how the four prong pace attack comes up with, but definitely I would have gone for a little bit. Or Keshav Maharaj is in fact in the side. Sorry,
That's
I
what
have
I'm
got
saying.
totally
That's what I'm
wrong. I have
saying.
got
Keshav
totally
is
wrong.
in the team.
Pardon me, my bad. So I think that's a very, very good bowling attack. Marco Jansen, Corbin Bosch, Keshav Maharaj, Barger, and Lungi and Giddy, and then you also have an Aiden Markram. So I think that's a very, very good bowling combination to go with.
A very well balanced team indeed. It looks very well balanced. Um, I made a tweet just now, 5 minutes ago, about the toss losses, and someone in the comment section said that we will win the toss in the 2027 ODI World Cup final. So, how many toss losses will that be till the
Don't
2027 final?
don't wait so
No,
far. Don't wait too far because Gargi is traveling. If I'm not wrong, to Mullanpur. If I'm
Yes,
not wrong, yeah.
yes,
So the toss fortune will change
but
with
that's
your presence.
T20, yes, no, different
So
format.
then you better travel in place of
see.
to Bharat in place of Bharat.
Making a joke, India will lose 67 tosses
Wow, 67.
in the World
Get
Cup
one
final.
toss win. And that's straight in the final. But Bharat, there's a question for you here. How crucial is Marco Jansen and Corbin Bosch? How crucial are Marco Jansen and Corbin Bosch in the South Africa ODI setup? They also use the long handle very well.
Yeah, see, Marco Jansen is an X factor. I'm not saying it's somewhere in 2025. You can go back to my Twitter handle somewhere in 2021, even before he played in the IPL. I told, looking at one of the YouTube videos, that this guy looks like an X factor to me, because obviously he can hit sixes. His long levers. Someone who just he has great reach. He's so tall, he's great reach, and he just is also quite powerful when it comes to landing the big sixes. And that's what it does. And he's a very dangerous player against spinners when he gets going, because he can hit huge sixes against spinners. We saw that against Kuldeep Yadav in the Test match. We have seen that in the one days as well, and we have seen it him doing it Rashid Khan in T20 cricket. So he can definitely land big sixes against spinners. And he's a very tall bowler. He has a left arm angle. He's developed a wobble ball, and with the ball in hand, he has a very whippy action. That's not something that you generally see with a lot of South African fast bowlers. Yeah, sometimes it seems like his front arm collapses. That is when I think he ends up bowling all those wides. We saw that in the World Cup game between India and South Africa. Maybe Debashish was there in that match at Eden Gardens or on those lines. He bowled a lot of wides in that match. That is when his front arm collapses. But otherwise, I think he's an X factor. And Corbin Bosch, he takes me to another type. Someone who hits the deck very hard, bowls as fast as he can, and with a bat in hand, he's again a very strong fellow, and hits the ball very hard. Yes, his father, I watched his father as well in one match, and he was pretty nippy, but I guess Corbin is a little quicker than his father as well. That's what I believe. But yes, both of them are very useful cricketers, because they can also bat, and Jensen is perhaps someone who can be an X factor for the South African team in the World Cup, because the way he hits the ball, not just his bowling, he can get you 40 of just 15 balls on those lines.
Okay, so I'm not taking any responsibility about the math here because, well, I'm not known for my math skills, but the probability of India losing 20 consecutive tosses in ODIs is 1 in 0.0009537%. So we'll make of that what you will. We'll move on to the super chat. Arvind, sorry. Yeah,
When
you
did he
asked
bowl 115 kilometers per hour in England? What is he saying?
what?
He was consistently bowling 145 in England in the whole test. He was consistently bowling 145 in the whole test. Not sure where he saw him bowl 115 kilometers per hour.
Okay, it was see Prasidh Krishna bowling 140 plus kilometer consistently in the first ODI, and like the India tour to England where he bowled 115 kilometer per hour. Would love to see him pick wickets too. Today we have to win and seal the series. Who wants to take this one?
That's what I said. I've never seen him bowl 115 kilometers per hour unless it is a slower one.
Slower,
Even in
exactly.
England, yeah, when has he bowled 115? He's very much in the 138, 145 bracket. In the world test, he was consistently bowling 90 miles per hour and getting bounds. That is why it took 8 wickets per test. Prasidh Krishna has some other issue. I think his bigger issue is not pace, because he's consistently around 138, 145. I think his biggest issue is when he goes full, it doesn't do anything for him, unfortunately. It doesn't swing. He tries to swing, but it doesn't swing. It doesn't seem. and that is why I think sometimes his economy rate is on the higher side. So he has to again and again pull his length back and bowl back of length, good length. But he's definitely someone who is very nippy, and unless it's a slower one, I've never seen him bowl 115 kilometers per hour in over 10 years of watching him, right from the time he played against Bangladesh in September 2015.
Okay. Viraj More is asking a question here. How difficult is it for the analysts to assess the top order strength of either side when the likes of Bumrah and Rabada are not playing?
Fair
Devashish?
point. The presence of Bumrah or a presence of Rabada can just transform that bowling attack into a very potent bowling side. Means obviously this Indian bowling attack is I would say on a thinner side. As far as experience is concerned, with both Bumrah and Siraj missing out, and we expect them to be back and to be part of that World Cup in 2027 in South Africa. And also Harshit Rana is one who has been very impressive, and I think he has just ticked the boxes as far as him getting into that flight to South Africa is concerned. Means it's too early days, I would say, but still I think he is in the right track as much as Arshdeep Singh, because you need a variety, and especially in South African conditions where there will be pace and bounce, you need some a left armor. Means is always a very I would say a bonus. Means if you have a left armor in that bowling attack. So I think those four bowlers will be there, and now India will definitely pick another one, and Hardik Pandya coming in as well. So I think that adds to the balance. So there will be a lot of competition going forward to that World Cup 2027. So it will be interesting, and if Prasidh Krishna bring in a little bit more consistency with his bowling, I would say that he would have done well. Means obviously with inconsistency, no question about his ability, because that is why the team management has faith in him. But if it is not consistent enough, then obviously there is people waiting out there to take the positions.
Last 5 minutes on the show. Before we take predictions and close the show, Bharat, I really want to ask you, all jokes aside, with a lot of dew around, and Harsha Bhogle has tweeted about it as well, with a lot of dew around, do you think this was an important toss to win for India?
So obviously, due around you would want to bat second. But having said that, I will just add one point that if we can get somewhere around 340, 350, I'm again guessing that the conditions would be good for batting, because I know in Raipur the conditions can be sometimes not easy for batting. But if the conditions are pretty good for batting, then if you can get around 340, 350, then even with dew around, it's never going to be easy for the opponent to chase that target down. So yes, for the Indian team, if they feel that the dew will come into play because they would have practiced yesterday in the night conditions, they would have to go for an above par total. That's the best way to negate the threat of the dew factor. But having said that, it's always easier when you know that the dew will come into play. It's always easier to bowl fast, especially when you believe that that could be a little bit of nip up front. Then it's always easier to win the toss and bowl fast.
All right, Devashish, what is your prediction?
If I may
Yeah,
just add what Bharat said, that is why the importance of that Virat knock comes into
yeah.
equation. Means that 135 or 120 balls, it was actually the game defining knock. And look at South Africa's batting; they bat deep. So I think, and given the firepower they have in that batting lineup, I think any total in and around 325, they will make it. They will go for it. But thanks to Virat Kohli, I think obviously Raipur will be expecting another fireworks from Virat and Roko and Rohit. But let's not forget Yashasvi Jaiswal, a very important opportunity. I would say he did miss that opportunity in Ranchi. See, he won't get much chance, because once Shubman Gill comes back into the side, he will open the batting. So I think for Yashasvi Jaiswal, these two matches will be make or break. If we really want to impress the selectors, I think these two knocks, and you cannot get out to a ball outside off stump. That's paramount. And he has been doing it time and again. So I think Yashasvi Jaiswal, I am I hope that he gets a big one. So, uh, but any failure, again a failure, there will be talks that come on with Shubman Gill coming back into the side, and then Yashasvi Jaiswal might have to again warm the benches.
And Devashish, what is your prediction? How many runs is India making?
With Rocco firing, I would say again once again at 350. Once again
Oh,
a 340 plus score. If the wicket is a belter, I think the kind of form they are in, I think they will make South African bowlers toil hard.
and India wins?
100% 345. If they can
Oh,
post 340 plus, obviously you expect India to win, but you never know. Means 300, around 300, I think it will be a very two 280 plus to 320, anything around, it will be a very tricky chase. I mean, South Africa can go for the kill.
Bharat, what are your thoughts? Predictions?
Predictions, yeah, I have to play guessing game here because I've not seen the pitch. I'm sitting in front of you. Because I know it could be a little bit on the slower side here in Raipur. So maybe if I guess on that basis, maybe I have to bring it down a little less to 280, 300. I'm just guessing that it will be slightly on the slower side. And yes, if, maybe who knows, South Africa might just pull one back today. That's what I feel like, and India to win the series in the third game. That's just my gut feeling. But I just want to add one point on SSV Jaiswal. Yes, had a problem in his left armers right from the 2023-24 Test series when I guess he made his Test debut. Andre Burger then also troubled him. Now also is troubling him. Jansen has troubled him. Mitchell Stark has troubled him because you can go slightly wider angle and make him play with as a left armer. With a right armer, you are likely going to beat a back foot player like Jaiswal from over the wicket. Here you can make him play by going from a bowling from wider angle. So he had a problem is left armer. Interesting to see how he goes against Jensen and Burger today.
All right. On that note, we'll take your leave. You have had your predictions. We'll be back at mid innings, so don't forget to join us then. As Raipur awaits another Roko show, we'll be also awaiting the same thing, of course. We're all waiting to see Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli put on another good show, good batting display out there for the fans in Raipur. We'll be back very soon. Don't forget to join us at mid innings. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.